Hello, gentle viewers. I am your host for this commentary, Matthew St. James, and I am honored, truly honored, to be here in the presence of the great Michael Ordoña.
Oh, yes. Thank you. You are honored.
So, explain here how this is a staged documentary in the ordinary day in the life of Ray Chang.
Well, you know, it was a day like any other day for Ray Chang. No more, no less interesting than any others. Therefore, a perfect choice for this film.
I see. And I understand that several camera operators did die. Oh, I want to talk about this scene, the brilliant camera movement. The way you keep cinematic secrets, it's so tangentially reminiscent of the Oriental masters. Oshima's Don Limpio du Sang, Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress.
Oh, well, you know what AK told me, Akira Kurosawa, told me about the camera and secrets. Well, you know, it was something in Japanese that I didn't really understand because I don't speak Japanese, but it's as I was telling him. You simply have to keep the multiple perspectives in Rashomon, AK. It'll feel like some sort of CSI episode.
I have to ask you, why don't these people seem to like the great Ray Chang?
Well, I don't know if like is really the word here. I mean, adore, desire, need, want. Something about his musk, I think.
Yes, a visceral reaction, so to speak.
No, we're viscous.
So how did this come about right here?
We don't know who this woman was. She just knocked on the door, and Ray Chang answered, and this was the result. But here you see a palpable example of his immutable sexual power. I should tell you, something that you don't see is the camera operator, the Conrad Seahall, Connie. The reason that he died on the set really was that he mistook some of those looks as being for him and doffed his clothes. And
it's an understandable mistake any one of us could make.
Well, yes, I myself came very close to making that mistake, but when this door closed, it caused him more than what you'd call emotional pain.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
I do see that. I'm so sorry. Here, I found the anti-minimalism of this scene almost hypnotic. How did it come about?
Well, you know what the Koobster told me, Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and who are these people here?
I don't know for sure, but they seem particularly anxious to get in the water. See, what's so fascinating about this entire situation is that Ray Chang and this fellow, Kipperton, Bennington, Shiotani, they were fighting for their lives in this pool, and they looked around and found this sort of weird activity occurring all around them.
I see. And so the music here...
The music was all in post. All in post.
No,
yes,
surely
you see,
not.
these people were just sort of gyrating wildly, as if they're having seizures or something. We think we actually stumbled into some sort of support group for epileptics or Tourette sufferers or something. Look at this one! See that one?
I do see. I see.
Fascinating case studies, really. So we put the music into the scene as a kind of ironic political comment.
A political? Care to expand on that?
No.
I do love here the brutality of war statement that you seem to have made here, almost akin to the battleship Potemkin. How could you expect your audience to be unmoved by the children floating nearly lifeless in the pool?
Yes, it is a kind of gentle, childlike brutality. Well, you see, it's as Sergei Eisenstein told me about Battleship Potemkin. Oh, never mind. Really, it's too esoteric a point.
Explain about this. How were you able to find musicians that could keep up with the great Ray Chang? Were they intimidated?
Well, you see, the dirty little secret of the scene is that they couldn't keep up with the great Ray Chang.
I see.
You see, they were performing before a crowd of, I don't know, 50, 90,000, whatever, and they were a little shocked. They were a bit deer in the headlights, and Ray Chang, out of the kindness of his heart, parachuted in and started picking up instruments and playing, which is why you see several of the musicians here look like they're about to faint. He actually fainted dead away immediately after that, and he ran in behind the drums, Ray Chang did, because the drummer actually collapsed.
Was the drummer hurt?
There were stains all over him they couldn't explain.
And this next scene here.
Oh, yes. This is the sad passing of Kipperton, Bennington, Shiotani.
You were so lucky you were able to capture it on film.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? We were so happy about that, yes. That, well, you know, he'll only die once.
And yet Ray wasn't able to bring him back.
He might have been able, but he had some sort of tennis appointment or something.
Ah, I see.
Go right away.
One thing that struck me about this scene was how devastatingly handsome the turtleneck supervillain was. Really a kind of a raging ball of masculinity, a palpable hybrid of Hannibal Lecter and John C. Holmes.
Undeniably so. We had to change our lenses several times because of the force waves of manly power on the set, emanating from them, especially the nether regions. But the thing about this fellow, this turtleneck supervillain, as you call him, he was an unbearable diva.
No, really?
Yes, embarrassingly so. Really, quite embarrassing.
You're sure you're not mistaken? Perhaps thinking of someone else?
Oh, no. It was him. Always demanding his Evian bath and his green M&Ms and his 3 hairstylists to reach a quorum and his personal chef Ralph to bring him his hand-fried donuts, He had awful tantrums when, say, planes would fly overhead, not on cue.
Interesting! Something else about this scene that I
really, the only reason we hired him, the only conceivable reason anyone could ever hire this man was his uncanny ability.
Uncanny, yes! What was his brilliant skill?
Well, as you're about to see, after he finishes this sort of mental shuriken attack, which everyone found so shocking, you see, this fellow, we put up with his tantrums and his weeping and his crying because of this, his ability to turn his head into a Crenshaw melon. It's genius, really.
Yes.
We were only able to get the one take, but his
course.
complaining did end after that.
Yes, as it would. Mm. And this scene here.
We were going for a Salvador Dali, Louis Buñuel, Ken Loach,
yes.
Mike Lee sort of thing.
The surreal and the real. Yes,
the real surreal.
I do see that. Yes, and what about this last scene coming up? I wanted to ask you about that.
Well, I did wrestle with whether to include it. This bit of, well, you might call it found gold, really, but I thought I'd better stay true to my verite roots and keep it in.
So I have to ask, did you really turn into Ray Chang in this shot?
No. You misunderstand entirely. Michael Ordoña was never in the shot.
You were never...
No. Ray Chang's projection of Michael Ordoña begins the scene before being revealed to be a further manifestation of Ray Chang's formidable id.
A dream within a dream.
Within a dream.
Yes, and so truly this appears to be a quest for the real Ray Chang, and yet I'm stunned as to how we could dig deeper into such a universally loved and feared and well-rounded man such as Ray Chang.
Well, we're mere mortals. We do what we can, when we can, with whom we can, and get away with. We did our best, but there are some imponderables that simply can't be pondered without, a sort of preponderance of ponderation, as you might guess.
I do know what you're saying for a change.
I'll say this. The experience of working with the Ray Chang was one of the most profoundly Ray Chang-like experiences in my entire life.
And me being allowed to do this commentary with you is one of the most Ray Chang-like moments of my life. I have to thank you.
No need to thank me. I mean, you may thank me, but all that thanking, what will it get, really? It can't express the true debt that you owe. It's been too long since someone has used the words Ray Chang in connection with me, so I must thank you for that.
No, thank you.
No. Thank you for your Ray Changness.
You're calling me Ray... This is too much. I need a moment.